What's up, people? It's Cap Revev. We're doing a live commentary. I wish I could show you through each YouTube what the screen was doing right now, but I can't comment on it. I'm looking at SPY. Right now we're on a decline. This will be the first low for the day, maybe the main low, although there's a possibility of two more. Another low somewhere around 11 to 12-ish. And then looks like a big decline in the after hours and right at the close even. As far as highs, we also just met our high in the pre-market or right around the open. Matter of fact, probably twice. Just that if you watch the recording from yesterday, which my camera guy's on the West Coast, so I'm not sure it's even up yet. But at the end of the day, I drew these ellipses on the chart to show what was going to happen, where the highs, where the lows were going to be. And it's literally carrying out right now as we speak. Eventually, I'll figure out how to stream the trading software with it. I'll figure it out. But as of right now, I'm just going to have to comment. So we're So right now we have we've entered that low area that I had indicated on the chart, and that's in the first half hour. Really, right at the open, there was that big drop. That was what I was expecting, and we had a high. Now the next high is coming up really, really soon. It's going to be just slightly higher than the high that happened right around the open, just slightly, and then what we're going to have is another higher that's just slightly higher. That'll be around 12 p.m. And then another high. It could be either 2 p.m. or right around the close. Somewhere in there, there's another crest. Let's say crest, not necessarily a high, but from what I can see, it does look like we have like slightly higher highs, and then we fall off a cliff overnight. Fall off a cliff, guys. So yeah, we're around 10 a.m. We're going to shoot up. Within the next few minutes, we may have lower to go. It's possible, but around 10 a.m. we're going higher. It'll be a notable pop higher. And then that pop higher, over that hour from 10 to 11 is going to turn into like a kind of like this. Like if you looked at a chart, it would be like, there's a peak, a drop, and then it comes right back to roughly the same level as the peak that it fell from. That'll be around 11 to 12-ish. That'll be a high. And then when it comes back, it may be slightly higher. But then after that U shape, somewhere around that point, we have a big drop. I mean, a big drop. And guys, keep in mind, we're talking about a one-day chart with 10-minute candlesticks when I say big drop. I don't mean like a yearly chart with daily candlesticks and this thing goes on for weeks. Although over this next 6 weeks, like my earlier videos have said, we are in the midst of a correction. Nobody sees it right now, but we're already in the midst of a correction. And very, very shortly, people will start to wonder, oh, crap, is this going to keep going? I have a sailor's mouth. Sorry, guys. So around the close for the day, actually between now and roughly 11 to 12-ish, we have kind of like a sideways S on a chart. So you have a support and a resistance level, and you have a sideways S that goes through it over that period of time from roughly now through 10 to 11-ish. All right. I also have the prudence card starting around roughly 1 p.m., somewhere between 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. There's going to be it looks to me like maybe false bottoms, but it's hard to say. All I can tell you at this moment in time is that there's going to be either a bunch of false bottoms, a bunch of false tops, or bottoms, tops, or there's going to be some sort of fake out that's intended to make us like impulsive and do something, it'll make it look like make people confident that we're going in a certain direction. And then all of a sudden, poof, we'll go the opposite direction. You have to remember, guys, we're trading against computers. The big guys are not humans anymore. They're computers, and they're designed to manipulate your emotions. You can't play by the rules. That's why SO meta-analysis works so well, because you have to be a crazy mofo to use tarot to trade with money. But hey, nobody else is doing it, and the system works for me. And that's why it works, because nobody else is doing it. I'm not playing by their rules. They're looking at the past. I'm looking straight up at the future. And it's not like something that I pull out of my hat. Let's be clear, all this. Well, why aren't you a billionaire? Really myopic, guys. Seriously. You try and predict the market like I am, and then let's talk. All right. 21 years it took me to get to this level of accuracy, which when we were doing dailies with actual interpretations, we stopped doing that to build the website for the last few months. We were averaging roughly a 98% accuracy. And that's statement by statement, day after day, predicting the stock market by the hour, people, sometimes by the minute. That's SO Meta. I developed it in secret over 21 years. Most people think I'm fucking crazy. They don't even look at the evidence. Well, guess what, guys? We're fucking live now. Try and stop me. If you're a critic, it's because you didn't watch shit. Nobody wants your fucking opinion unless you educate yourself first. And if you educated yourself first, you wouldn't be a critic. Believe me. The proof is in the pudding, friends. So just a rehash, and then I'm going to turn this off for a bit. We'll come back. I'll do another live commentary towards the end of the day. But as far as what I foresee, look at that. We're going into, if you're watching the SPY or the S&P 500 on a 10-minute chart, you just saw us come out of a high, meet the low orb, come out of a high orb, meet the low orb that I drew yesterday, people. Then it's just met the second orb or the second high. It hasn't quite gone higher than the first yet. I do see it going slightly higher. Matter of fact, it's probably going to go over time. It's going to go a bit more than slightly higher, it looks to me, because it's the wealth card. It's hard to say, but we're coming up on a peak right around the 10, another peak around the 10 to 10:15 mark. And then we should probably have like a little bit of a dip and then a move higher again as we move into the 11 to 12 o'clock hour. And that's where we have that like U-shaped dip that'll be notable from like one peak to another peak that should be slightly higher than the first peak that it fell from. Then we have a real sharp, notable drop. It's really where this is where things change, where things turn, people start to be like, oh, what's going on? But between roughly 12 and 1 p.m., we have a sharp drop. It's the tower card. Generally, that comes off of a high. It could be another high, or it could be the same peak, I should say. It comes off of a peak. It could be a new peak within the hour of 1 to 12 to 1. But more than likely, it's a decline off of that second peak from that U-shaped decline back to a peak. And we have the prudence card. Like I said, false tops, false bottoms, or misdirection. The Senate or the House of Representatives, something along those lines, is highlighted between 2 and 3 p.m. roughly. And that creates some sort of sideways fluctuation or a significant change in trend direction. Let me see. Let me look at my notes here. And guys, I'm not making this shit up. You'll see clearly. But by the end of this video, there's no denying what I'm fucking doing. Yeah, I curse. Yeah, I don't look like a psychic. What does a psychic look like, guys? What does a psychic talk like? Exactly. So in any case, you can always go to the website tarotfortraders.com. Like literally 21 years of research compiled into a database you can like query for different types of cards, and it'll reference like the stocks for that day, what they were doing, or the charts for that day in relation to the chart, same page. If we did a prediction, it's most likely got a review and a score as well. But more importantly, you can go to the tarot card descriptions. They're specifically focused on trading financial markets. Specifically, you won't find that kind of information anywhere else. There's literally cards telling you what the technical behavior will be within that period of time. The book that we have releasing on the 5th, dudes, I can literally show you. You just have to check it out and look. Suspend your doubt and take a look. Each card can be translated into a candlestick, my friends. That's right. And I'll show you. Just checking out my notes here, guys. Yep, there we go. So higher, we go a little bit outside of my orb, but I did recalculate based on just a few minutes ago. I said, yeah, we're probably going a bit higher than slightly higher. And that's basically what's happened. It's the wealth card, so we could shoot relatively high here. But it will be the second high for the day. Or the second peak, second high, second peak. Right now it is already the second high. And by that I mean there was a peak, then a drop. That peak was a high, drop, then there's another high. I'll try and use the word peak for less confusion, but sometimes it is difficult at times to determine if it's a new high, a same high, or just a peak. Sometimes it's really easy, sometimes it's not. But either way, I'm doing it mostly like almost every fucking day, guys. It's not a fluke, in other words. Okay, so yeah, so the Senate's highlighted around the end of the day between 2 and 3-ish, and then that creates sideways fluctuations, bearish rotation that significantly increases in volatility. It has specifically to do with a new way of thinking about a situation and or a policy change, amendments or litigations. I'm sensing policy change. I don't watch the news, but I'm going to assume there's something going on with money just by what my readings have told me. Guys, buy silver. I really hope you buy silver. I'm not a licensed financial advisor or analyst or anything. Nobody in the finance world would have ever taken me seriously trading tarot card. Doesn't matter that I got in the top 1% of the CNBC $1 million portfolio challenge the last year that I was out using only tarot. The news will lie to you. It will manipulate you. The charts will lie to you. They will manipulate you. You have to understand, people. You're not trading against humans. That's the masses. They can't get past $25,000 in their account because of the PDT rule, the pattern day trading rule. Whole nother shebang, guys. Ugh. But we're trading against computers that were built by some of the richest people on the planet with the smartest people building them. They have artificial intelligence with machine learning capability that can place 1,000 trades in a freaking minute. I don't know. They can place way more trades than a human ever could. That's why you put in a price and then it ticks up a cent and you can't get in. You have to redo your price and then it ticks up a cent. That's the computers trying to steal your money, people. Like, the computer was built and paid for with the specific purpose of manipulating human emotions, tricking people into making rash and silly decisions, doubting themselves, selling at lows instead of highs, chasing highs instead of being poised and waiting for a good entry point. The computers are designed to do this. They don't play by the technical rules anymore, please. Well, technically they do, but they'll do every variation before they go and do what they're going to do. They'll try and scare out as many people as possible. Remember, that is the sole purpose of these computers. Manipulate human emotion. We basically give them the money. They don't need a computer to make them the money. They just need a computer to manipulate our emotions and cause us to basically give it away. Yeah, think about that. High frequency trading. Why don't they call it computer algorithms? Why don't they call it super fast computer systems trading by the second, by the millisecond? Because they don't want you to know that they're trading, that you're trading against the computer designed to manipulate your emotions. They don't want you to know that, people. They want your money. Doesn't mean you can't make money in the market, but you cannot play by their rules, people. The rules are designed by the house. The house always wins. And I'm sorry, I didn't spend 21 years of my life gambling. This ain't gambling, folks. This is buying and selling companies. It's straight business. It's gambling if you treat it that way. And they want you to think of it like gambling. They want you to think you can't time the market. Well, guess what, people? I've got 500 posts with timestamps through Gmail and reviews and pictures of the cards and the spread and all of that, guys, on my website, tarotfortraders.com, under forecasts. Literally all there, as well as future prognosis, future posts for days to come. You can go check it out. This ain't bullshit, people. This is the future. And we're falling off of that second high. As I said, we did reach just above it a little bit. What I'm going to do is I'm going to mark up the rest of this. I'll put it on my website. The rest of the chart for the day, where I see highs and lows, I'm going to put it on my website. It may take a few minutes, guys. Sorry. And then I'll be back up on live. I got to shut these things down because I haven't actually got enough hardware just yet to do all of this at once. But it's coming up, guys, real soon. All right, stay tuned.